Hey, Cargo here. It is November the 3rd, and it is time for some Oort news. Straight off the presses. Here we go. Alright, do you hear the sound of that ticking? That is the sound of us about to drop our bomb on Steam. It is so close. What we're waiting on right now is the final confirmation for Steam to say, okay, on this date, you guys can do it. I can say the date is very close to where we are now currently. We're just waiting on them for final approval. It turns out that Valve is kind of picky about certain details of the website and making sure everything lines up on their Steam page versus the website, and it all looks great. That way, when they go to sell, it's very successful. I think Valve's taking their time with this because they know Oort's going to be a smash hit, and they want to make as much money as possible, just like the devs. So, like we all do. So this game gets more features. So that's why we're kind of having to wait just a little bit longer to finally get the okay and them to say, yep, go ahead, it's happening. But I can tell you it is coming very soon. Uh-oh. Anyways, next thing, client application. Oh yeah, here it is. That's what it looks like when you log in. This is a standalone client. It's coming for Windows, it's coming for Mac, and oh, is it fast. I mean, like 5 times the performance of the browser. It's extreme! It's like power thirst. Basically, like when you load the world, they were saying if it took you 5 minutes to load the entire area from you standing completely still to the time the most distant chunks are loaded, that time would be cut down to 1 minute before the entire thing, max distance, was completely loaded around you when you load it in. So it is totally worth running the client. It is going to be awesome. So that was really good. And then on top of it, there's going to be 4 new worlds added. 4 new developer worlds are being added to the game to show off some of the increased abilities that some of the increased abilities that came with the new editor. And on top of that, my world of Cayman, which if you check out my other video, I'll show you all about it, is coming shortly before Steam as well. So you'll be able to check out that, and it shows some really new radical biome concepts that are really cool. Next thing, grappling hook. Yes, we finally got confirmation the grappling hook is going to happen at the same time as Steam. Who called it? Yeah! Floating Islands, what's next? Floating Islands, the World Builder upgrade came out, and oh my goodness, had they been spending a lot of time on the editor. Floating Islands are here, they were demanded, they made them happen, and they're awesome. They look fantastic in-game. On top of that, there's a lot more customization that has been moved from the global level of the world down into the biome level. And what that basically does is it means that biomes in a single world look much more diverse than they did before, meaning walking around the exact same world is much more interesting for the players. So that's fantastic news. Cave controls are now per biome instead of at the global level, and they've been put on steroids, allowing for even more exotic designs than even Keyford had. So that's fantastic, and it's even easier to find what you're looking for now. Let me pull it up than it was before. Auto layout absolutely kicks ass. Check this out. Look at this. Now all the lines fit perfectly, and you want to drill down for something, voila, click on what you need, takes you straight to it, right over to here. It's much cleaner, and not to mention the editor is much faster. You want to change the colors, go over here, click, there's your color palette selection. It is much better. And then on top of that, everything is much faster. So maybe you've seen the editor, you've seen me talking about the editor, you tried the editor and you said, man, this is cool, it looks really awesome, but this is just too complicated. Like, I don't really want to spend 9,000 hours like you, Carco, digging away trying to figure this thing out. Well, that's okay, don't worry, there's a solution coming for you. Right now, what we're focused on is trying to increase the possibilities within the Oort universe, okay? So we're trying to increase complexity. But of course, that's really bad juju for people that are starting out and people that just want to do something somewhat simple and kind of wade into the waters without having to build Rome from scratch. So what we're doing is later on down the line, we're building like a library. And in time, I imagine there's probably going to be something like an interface where you're going to see pictures, almost like tiles, if you will, of biomes that have already been built by other people. And you can just browse through a gallery, kind of like you go to a website and look for cool stuff on MC. And you go, oh, I like that biome. I like that biome. Click, click. I want some floating islands. I want some super mountains. Click, click. And then you'd say, I want, this color theme. And it probably won't even be something like where you select each individual color. You just pick a theme. Next theme. Next theme. Ah, that's what I want. Okay, set the weather and environment. Done. And it spits out a config, uploads it to a server for you. So even if you're not building with the editor, it's good to know about all these things that are happening, because down the line, these things may be more easily accessible to you where you can build worlds and develop them. So that's pretty cool. All right, persistent servers. All right. Oh, let's get that video out. Yeah. Okay. So, oh my goodness, that's way too loud. My ears are going to bleed. So we're talking about persistent connected universe. Mission accomplished. Okay? Oort is now one big MMO system. Okay? You've just left the realm of Minecraft and Terraria, and you're entering the realm of EverQuest, World of Warcraft, and EVE Online. The devs are now focused on the next big hurdles, which are scalability, redundancy, latency, and performance in the MMO system. These are big differences between this is the difference between your home run Minecraft server and an enterprise class MMO. That's why you're paying rent. It's not like you're paying for a hosted Minecraft server. This would be like paying Blizzard for control of your own WoW server that you controlled and was connected to every other WoW server like EVE Online is. And this is also how we get around avoid charging subscription fees to every single player. So the devs are now obsessed with things like CPU utilization, memory consumption, latency, because the more efficient the design is, the more players we can stick on a single server together. And that, of course, makes the game more interesting. Well, let's see, what else we got here? Oh, the art. Ooh, this was the big bomb dropped. Where is it? Oh, man. I can't believe this. Look at this. Just look at this. I was floored when I saw this earlier today. It speaks louder than I can, but just some of the key things. Look at the quality of detail of the grass, the texturing on those cube blocks over there. Also, the shadow being cast by some unseen either pillar or tree outside of the picture. The plant. Whoa. Talk about some slick static meshes to add a lot of personality to the environment. Even the texturing on the tree lines looks fantastic. I love the interwoven lines between them. It doesn't even look like a block of wood. It looks like a tree, especially with the abnormal bending of it. That's where it really starts to look more like a tree and less like a pillar. And then also in the background, if you notice, there's a stylized skybox that fits much closer to the Oort Online theme we saw in the concept art. I mean, this looks a heck of a lot closer to what was in the original art than, currently instant access. And this is awesome. This is kind of like an interpreted, I think this is like a style translation where we're beginning to see it getting closer to what originally the concept artists had in their head. So this is where the art and the overall appearance of the game is headed, which is fantastic. And then on top of it, James talked about blurring of lines. And this is kind of a subtle detail, but it's really pretty interesting. If you look at the lines along here, these are blurred. So when you step back and you don't look at them explicitly and you just kind of glance over it, it actually looks like a pretty relatively smooth surface as opposed to seeing hard, sharp lines like you're used to when there's 90-degree angles on the blocks and they create a perfect point. It allows for your eyes not to be drawn to those points and for you to kind of embrace the overall image you're looking at rather than specific fine details of the voxelization. But it also allows us to have the flexibility and the control of voxels in the game. So I'm really excited. Steam is coming super, super soon. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.